Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 Mods Weekly, the show where we recap some of the really interesting releases that have come out during the week. And today we actually have a couple of Capital Wasteland project releases, which is really exciting, along with a roadmap for the future releases that will be coming soon. So we'll have a pretty exciting couple of months ahead of us, but we're also going to take a look at some other really interesting mods that came out this week. We're going to be starting off with the classic Ghouls Redux mod by HcGxGrill and TheFriedturkey, the first of the Capital Wasteland project mods featured in this video. This is going to be a remaster of the classic Ghouls mod that had already come out, that's going to work out a lot of the kinks, remove some of the workarounds, and all in all just make the mod work a whole lot better. And I really like this mod. It was a staple in my load order already, and now that it is even better and more polished, this mod is just perfect. If you're a fan of the classic style of the ghouls from Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas compared to the sort of bland looking ghouls from Fallout 4, this mod is definitely going to be for you. In case you somehow didn't play the original, this is just going to retexture the ghouls in Fallout 4 to look like their classic counterparts. Now specifically, these are going to be ghouls that you find in settlements, ghouls that are still cognitively aware of their surroundings, not the feral ghouls, although they do have a mod for that as well. Personally, I do prefer the classic style of ghouls over Fallout 4's, not necessarily in terms of realism, but I just prefer that look in my game, and it makes a whole lot more sense for some of the prejudice that happens in Fallout, especially in Fallout 4. The fact that all of the ghouls were kicked out of Diamond City, if they had an aesthetic as grotesque as the ones from the classic Ghouls Redux, then that makes a whole lot of sense. The choice really is yours. It's up to you whether you prefer the regular vanilla Fallout 4 ghouls or the classic Ghouls Redux, but if you do want to try this mod out, it will be available for both PC and Xbox, so if you like the look of this, it's definitely something you should go and try yourself. Up next, we have a brand new weapon mod, and that is the Wabbagat by Fliteska. This is going to be a rendition of the Wabbagat weapon from the Elder Scrolls in the form of a revolver featured in Fallout 4. And if you don't know what the Wabbagat is from the Elder Scrolls, it is a staff that will apply random effects to your enemies or friends if you're going to decide to attack them with it. And it takes that idea and just applies it to a pistol in Fallout. So with this revolver, whenever you shoot at an enemy or NPC of any kind, it's going to have a random effect. It could be something as simple as some elemental damage, maybe it adds incendiary bullets, or alternatively, it could teleport them to another dimension. It could spawn some fireworks and some explosives. It could turn them into a chicken. It could turn any enemy in the game into any other enemy in the game, which sometimes can be very beneficial. For example, turning a, say, I don't know, Deathclaw into a Mirelurk is pretty nice, but turning something like a Feral Ghoul into a Mirelurk Queen would not be a good trade-off. So for the most part, this weapon will be shooting in your favor, but occasionally it can have some pretty unexpected results. There have been mods that have attempted this in the past, but I really enjoy this one, especially since it does have some Sheogorath paint on the grip of the revolver, as well as a custom outfit that will also mimic the paint scheme with the orange and pink on either side. Definitely a very fun weapon. It's hard to say that it's particularly balanced given the crazy outcomes that you can have with this thing, not to mention how completely random they are, but if you want to have a bunch of fun, this is definitely one that's worth checking out, and it's another one that's available on both PC and Xbox, so go out there and try this one. I promise that you will not regret it. Up next, we have the Tactical Accessory Compendium, also known as TAC, by Zactan1234. Now, this mod is going to be a compilation of a bunch of Zactan's armor and accessory mods, as sort of a gift to us in what is sadly Zactan's retirement. Now, it may not be a complete vanish off of the Nexus, but I'm pretty sure Zactan is getting busy with real-life stuff, and so he wanted to give us one last present, though I'm really hoping that he does do some more mods in the future. It's really hard to say for sure, but regardless, we do have a really nice pack that we can check out for the time being. So like I said, this is going to have a ton of Zactan's armor and accessory mods, most of which are going to be for the tactical and modern aesthetic, so if you're a lore-friendly user, this may not be the mod for you, but there are some really nice additions in here. All of these are going to be craftable at the chemistry station under the new Tactical Accessory Compendium category, and there are a ton of options. Different helmets, balaclavas, glasses, and other accessories, all of which are very highly customizable at the armor workbench, where you can do tons of different cosmetic options, as well as different stat bonuses, and of course all of them do have ballistic weave capabilities. This mod's going to give you great bang for your buck, tons of different options for you here, and it's available in both 2K or 4K options. So if you really want to get some beautiful looking armor pieces on your high-end rig, this is a mod that is worth checking out, especially if you're running a tactical modern load order. Very good stuff in here, and of course, wonderful work as always by Zactan. Up next, we have the classic Brahmin Replacer by HcGxGrill and TheFriedturkey, yet another Capital Wasteland project release. This is going to remaster the Brahmin in Fallout 4 to look like their classic counterparts, again from Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. Very similar to the Ghoul mod, except this time covering Brahmin. It's pretty simple, just a nice retexture for these guys, but it does have one small little feature, which is that if you go up and sneak next to a Brahmin, you do have the option to push it over, which was actually an Easter egg in New Vegas that I somehow didn't find out about until very recently. You can go and crouch next to the Brahmin and basically cow tip them, or Brahmin tip them if you prefer that. Yet another mod available for both PC and Xbox. If you want some more classic looks in your Fallout and you're really just trying to overhaul every single visual aspect of the game to look like Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 3, this is another mod that you can't pass up. And then finally, we have a brand new standalone weapon mod, and that is going to be the Tanegashima Blaster by M150. If you're not familiar with M, they are an author who makes some really wacky and out there mods, and this mod is no different. This is going to add the Tanegashima rifle, which I believe is a matchlock vintage rifle that has been converted into a laser blaster that has a magazine in the form of batteries and a whole bunch of different sci-fi looking parts on it, including wires and different technology. If you want to get this weapon yourself, you can always spawn it in via the console, or you can go to the newly added vendor over in the third rail, whose name is Tokitaka. This is going to be a man with a pretty interesting outfit, but he's going to be the only vendor selling these things. So head over to Good Neighbor if you want to pick one of these up, and once you have them, they have a pretty good amount of attachments over at the weapons workbench, including different optics as well as a pretty interesting Japanese blade for a bayonet. Not sure if it's a Tanto or Wakizashi, but I don't want to make any claims and be incorrect. The only issue with this mod that I've noticed so far is that some of these sights don't actually seem to line up. There are some iron sight and reflex sight options, but for me, they don't actually point at anything. You just kind of look over the barrel. So hopefully that is something that will be fixed in an update soon. At the very least, you get a really interesting new energy weapon for Fallout 4. This thing is incredibly unique and definitely fits the style of Fallout in terms of the design methodology with this weapon. A nice wood retro weapon that has been converted into an energy weapon just screams Fallout to me. Its origins are a bit odd and it's not quite clear how they would end up in the US, but this thing is really cool, and if you want something like this for your load order, I highly recommend you check it out. And this is another mod that's both on PC and Xbox, so anybody can try this one. But with that, we're going to wrap up this week's Mods Weekly. Pretty interesting set of mods, and really happy to be seeing some more Capital Wasteland stuff in the form of standalone mods that we can download right now. Pretty interesting stuff. If you want to download any of these mods, they will all be linked down in the description below, along with their Xbox counterparts. So, with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to drop a rating, subscribe if you haven't already for more videos just like this, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace! And really quick, I'd like to make a shout out to all of our patrons. Your donations are greatly appreciated and really help to support the channel and videos just like this one. So again, thank you.